The sport of boxing has definitely taken a hit in the last few decades. Throughout my lifetime, which started in the year 2000, boxing has went from a sport that was legitimate, professional, and beloved around the world to, well, one that was pretty much on the cusp of dying out in all reality. I can't remember more than like 3 actual like massive fights that have happened in the last like 5 to 10 years that weren't YouTubers or like I think there was like there was like Pacquiao and a couple other fights, man. I don't know. It's hard to keep up with boxing at this point because there's not even really that many major fights that aren't YouTubers. Like, it's crazy to think that YouTubers like Jake and Logan Paul are literally keeping the sport of boxing alive. And if you told me back in like 2016, 2017, when these guys started really popping off that they would literally kind of like revive the sport of boxing, I would have just been entirely flabbergasted, man. Like, I would have just not believed you know what I'm saying? Because, look, they're white dudes from Ohio, I'm a white dude from Ohio. That's really about all we got in common, but I mean, you never really expected them to be boxers, right? But low-key, they're actually kind of pulling it off. I will say that. Like, we have, Floyd Mayweather fighting Logan Paul? And that's coming up in February. Like, that's a legitimate fight that's coming up. I don't think it's going to go too well for Logan, but I mean, at the end of the day, dude, it's just kind of crazy to see. Like, YouTubers are out here fighting some of the greatest boxers of all time, and people are just, like, not batting an eye to it. Like, I feel like this is all proof that we live in a simulation. We got fucking YouTubers out here boxing legends, you know? It's nuts. But Jake Paul, okay, is also trying to get himself back in the ring. And I'm not sure if I'm not sure if he's being serious, bro. I don't know. I thought Logan Paul wasn't being serious when he was slated to fight Floyd Mayweather. So that's why I'm kind of taking this one a little more seriously than I expected to. But like, bro, you know, I don't see this going well. So Jake Paul's been kind of like calling people out on Twitter. He called out like LeBron James. He called out Joe Biden and just like a bunch of other people talking about, oh, let's see who the king of Ohio is, trying to box him and stuff like that, bro. But now he's calling out my man, Conor McGregor, the MMA legend himself, the 2-time, the king of Ireland, okay? One of the greatest UFC fighters of all time. Now, from what I understand, this is going to be a straight-up boxing match, so Conor, of course, can't really use, like, his full skill set. But even then, like, we're talking about, I mean, you can't say Jake Paul's not a professional fighter at this point, because he actually does have, like, a pro record. And, I mean, he actually trains, and he has some skill, even if he's not maybe the greatest boxer on the planet. He has some skill. He's definitely not some street fighter, okay? Out here talking about fighting someone like fucking Conor McGregor, though, you know? Now, Conor McGregor has actually boxed. He's 0-1. Jake Paul is 2-0 in his boxing record, if that matters. I mean, that doesn't really determine how the fight will go. Conor McGregor has way more fighting experience in the long run. I mean, of course, it's UFC and MMA and whatnot. He's used to, you know, fucking Superman punches and, you know, fucking chokeholds and all kinds of crazy stuff. But I mean, Conor McGregor, man, he is definitely a lethal fighter, you know? I'm not like super knowledgeable about UFC, but from what I understand, Conor McGregor, his striking game is really good, which means he can hit like very accurately, very well. He's very powerful with his punches. He's pretty quick. I would say he's probably quicker than Jake Paul if I can, you know, if I'm measuring them off right in my head. But I mean, man, just take a look at this video. It really says it all.
What the fuck is up, you Irish? Good morning, Conor McGregor. I know you're probably beating up old dudes in a bar right now, or maybe you're because you're sick of your wife. I mean, she's a 4, Conor. You could do a lot better, but happy Monday. My team sent you a $50 million offer this morning. $50 million cash, proof of funds, the biggest fight offer you've ever been offered, but you're scared to fight me, Conor. You're ducking me because you don't want to lose to a YouTuber. You're 0-1 as a boxer. I'm 2-0 as a boxer. I just came off the 8th biggest pay-per-view event in history, but you want to fight Dustin Prober, who has less followers on Instagram than my dog. That's a fact. And Dana White, you're a fucking pussy too, you ugly fucking bald bitch. You said there's 0% chance of this fight happening, but there's 0% chance of you getting some. Conor, you're scared. Dana, you're scared. Sign the fucking contract, you idiots. Jesus Christ. Irish bitch.
I mean, what else does that say? I mean, I do have to say, I love the grandiose nature of this video, man. You got the mansion in the background, the nice car, the $50 million check. My man's got the ice on. Out here smoking a big-ass cigar, dude. I would love to get my hands on something like that. Out here smoking Op Pack all day, bro. I can't believe I just said that about Jake Paul, but I mean, come on, you know? In all reality, like, is he being serious? Because, like, you know, once again, Conor McGregor, not the greatest boxer, okay? But Jake Paul, also not the greatest boxer, but it's fucking Conor McGregor. You know what I'm saying? Conor McGregor. You guys know who that is, right? You know, the two-time does whatever the fuck he wants. That guy, bro. See, but the thing is in this fight, I feel like Jake Paul would stand more of a chance against Conor McGregor than Logan Paul is going to against Floyd. First and foremost, Floyd Mayweather is one of the better boxers of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like, his career precedes everything. Like, you don't even have to, like, make it, you don't have to justify the argument there, you know? It's Floyd fucking Mayweather, and then it's Logan Paul, you know? I think that there's a good chance that the Logan Paul-Floyd fight might only go one round. If that, you know what I'm saying? But see, of course, Conor McGregor, he's not a boxer, okay? And that means that since a lot of his game's gonna be locked up, he has to focus more on just, like, the striking / punches and stuff like that. It's a little more even down for Jake Paul. Like with Floyd Mayweather, you know, he's not out here doing leg kicks and shit like that. That's not in his expertise. He literally is just a straight up boxer. So when it comes down to it, you know, Jake Paul, he's restricting what Conor McGregor can do, but at the same time, it's still Conor. And you know, he's challenging all these other people, and that's gotta be a troll, man. Like, people are getting kind of worked up about that. Like, he called out LeBron James, and like I said, like Joe Biden and some other people, bro. These people are obviously not going to fight him. Like Joe Biden, dude is elderly as shit. You know what I'm saying? He's about to be the president of the United States. You think he's about to square up Jake Paul? No, it's just not going to happen. And if it does, bro, the scientists need to just come out and just tell us that we're living in a simulation, dude. They got to just let us know that the computers have been running weird. God put a bug in the most recent update, you know, some of the dialogue options are glitching out a little bit. Cause that just doesn't even make any sense at that point. But like, even with LeBron, like LeBron's not going to square up Jake Paul. Especially for like, no, 50 million, that ain't shit to LeBron, you know what I'm saying? LeBron's out here, he's got like $1 billion shoe deal with Nike. My man's out here with like a fucking Supermax contract with the Lakers. Like, he'd burn 50 million in front of Jake Paul and laugh at him, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's not gonna happen with that. But you know, he's been kind of trolling with a lot of this whole fight thing going on Twitter. Now, obviously, Jake Paul really does want to box, right? Because, like, that's become a huge piece of bread and butter to the Paul family. And, like, he's actually fighting for a legitimate record now. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's aware these people are not going to box him. So, he's saying that Conor is ducking him. I don't know if that's true. I mean, Conor McGregor, 50 million. I mean, that's still good money to him. But, I mean, even then, like, it's not going to be something he needs. I think what it comes down to is Conor isn't even taking him serious, bro. Because, like, I mean, you got to think of it from his perspective, right? Like, you're an established UFC fighter. You're one of the greatest to ever do it. You're a fucking menace, you know what I'm saying? And then this YouTuber who made the song, It's Everyday, Bro, comes out talking about, hey, square me up, dog, and we're going to do 50 million on it. Like, you know, you're not going to take that seriously most of the time, right? Like, I probably wouldn't take it seriously either if I was Conor. But I mean, I think that there's a legitimate shot that this fight actually does happen. I mean, both sides definitely can gain something from it. If not just money, they can definitely both gain some attention for the moment. And in reality, that's another big thing about it with the Paul brothers. Like, I'm not too fond of the whole YouTube boxing thing, right? Like, I think it's kind of corny and played out. But I mean, it is kind of entertaining to watch the bullshit that surrounds the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no chance I'm paying for these fights, you know, I'm just gonna visit, you know, the folks over at Cracked Streams, but at the end of the day, man, like, it's just weird because it's just so unexpected, and it doesn't really make any sense in the grand scheme of things. Like, why is God out here throwing such weird curveballs at us? I have no idea. But when it comes down to this whole YouTube boxing thing, man, like, it's so weird, you know, because, like, we're talking about people who started out vlogging and shit like that, and they're out here actually jumping in the ring and fighting. Like, it definitely makes for great entertainment, don't get me wrong, but, like, I don't know, it's just something about it seems a little bit old. You know, I thought it was getting old after, like, the second or third event because, like, you know, it just felt like they were just playing it up. But, I mean, you also gotta realize how much money they're making off these. Having the 8th biggest pay-per-view event of all time is not something to scoff at. Like, at this point, they might be legitimately making the majority of their money that they're actually making simply just by boxing once or twice a year. And if you think about it, it's kind of a fucking genius move from Jake Paul. Even if he is being serious and he is, you know, being kind of delusional, he's drumming up all this attention around his name, which just brings more attention to his content, which brings in more subscribers and fans, which brings in more merchandise sales, and then, of course, is bringing all the attention around the fight that's going to sell pay-per-view tickets like crazy. Like, it really is just kind of snowball effect at that point, you know what I'm saying? And as much shit as the Paul brothers get for being stupid, not thinking about what they do beforehand, it is really a genius marketing move, and they know exactly what they're doing when they do shit like this. And it really is kind of the reason that they are where they are, because they really do thrive off of, like, the attention and the negativity and the hate that they get, and people trying to, like, cancel them and not want to see them and things like that. I gotta give props to him, even though he's being crazy, even though I can't think that he's being serious. Like, I hope he seriously doesn't want to fight Conor McGregor. Because, I mean, even though, you know, Conor's not a boxer, I'm still probably going to have to think he would win that fight. especially if he had enough time to like train and things like that. So I don't know. But with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. Thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, just kind of watching and signing out.